Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. If you open today's Tutto Sport front page, you can see that they're already speaking about Juve-Inter da mondiale verso il scudetto derby che diventa planetario. They are speaking about the fact that we are going towards that scudetto derby Juve-Inter that will be played on the 26th of November, a game that is representing a lot, but not internationally. It's a game that is representing the Italian soul, because we are speaking about scudetto, about Serie A, about calcio. Well, that game could become in 2025 a world game, a global game, because we are speaking about the World Cup for Club that will start with its first edition in 2025. If we have time in today's video, we'll try to speak about it a bit more in detail, otherwise it will be for another video anyway. We have time to speak about it, because I tell you, my concentration, my focus is not really today about the Derby d'Italia that will be played on the 26th of November, but it's the next one. It's the one that we will play tomorrow on the 11th of November, and we are speaking about Juve Cagliari, with Juventus that have again the possibility, like we did after Verona, winning that game to be temporarily first in the ranking of Serie A. And it's always nice to look everyone from the top to the bottom. That's a really exceptional feeling. Even if it's for a few hours only, it's always nice. Anyway, I want today to speak about Mercato. I want to speak about one name, Kalvin Phillips. But of course, we can't start speaking about Mercato, about Kalvin Phillips, if you don't put a maximum of like and if you don't subscribe to the channel if you didn't yet. And you know that in the recent weeks, in the recent months, what I saw that we have a lot of first-time viewers or people that are actually watching the channel without subscribing. I'm not blaming you, but I want to improve myself to become better. And my question for you guys, and I want you to write it down below in the comment section of YouTube, is what can I do for you to push that subscribe channel, for you to put your trust in me giving you the best information about Juventus? Let me know in the comment, because now it's time to start speaking about Mercato with Gazzetta dello Sport, that is going with a funny title, Phillips accende la Juve. Phillips, it's turning on Juve. And what are they speaking about when we are saying about turning on Juve, turning on the light? Why light? Philips, you know, the big famous light brand Philips. That's what they are speaking about. Not bad. Let's be honest. Well, we are speaking since a few days about Kalvin Phillips, with my opinion that is changing from time to time. When we are speaking solely about the player, I can tell you, and this one didn't change, that I'm a big fan of the player. Probably a bit more than Pep Guardiola, that is not letting him play in Manchester City. When we are speaking about seeing Phillips working in Juventus 23-24, I have my doubts, because I don't always understand how can he play. So I want to go tactically what he can give us as solution. And why are we intensifying the words, the debates, the talks about Kalvin Phillips, Kalvin with a K, don't forget that, that's important. It's because from that visit in London with Giovanni Manna and Cristiano Giuntoli, they came back with a double yes. The yes from Manchester City, that wants to get rid of him on loan because they want to let him play. They know it, that he has really beautiful talents that is at the moment not able to express in England. And we are looking at the words of Pep Guardiola. Lately he said that he is exceptional and he would love to give England international more opportunities, but at the moment with a fantastic, great Rodri, it's difficult to find him a spot. And he also admitted that at the moment Pep Guardiola couldn't get out the best out of Kalvin Phillips. So for me, he was already a fantastic, exceptional player at Leeds. At the moment at Manchester City, he's not able to show even more. That means that Pep Guardiola is thinking that that player even has more possibilities. So I really believe in that player that I like, and they want to loan him out, to let him giving playing time, which for you it could be nice one, because you don't secure a player, you have him for 6 months as a reinforcement, waiting for Nicolo Fagioli to come back next season. Usually I'm not a big fan of this kind of operation. You sign a player for 6 months and you don't even have the opportunity to take him forever, sign him permanently, he goes back where he come from. I don't like this kind of thing, because I already had that one with Morata. In the first time that he came to Juve, he was still a Real Madrid player, even if he played 2 years with Juve. On the other side, I tell you that knowing a bit the finance that we have, and if signing Kalvin Phillips can even unlock a second player a la De Paul or a la Samardzic, I would not say no. The player is a pit bull. really a lot of strength. He's really great in duels. He's a player that probably aerially, in the aerial duels, is losing a bit, but it's a player that knows how to do. You know, at a certain moment in his career, Pep Guardiola was speaking about him, and he said that when the games get a bit dirty, you know, when it's a bit dirty, well, Kalvin Phillips is the player that is there to make that game again a bit more clear. He's the one that you need to clear the game. So not bad. Cleaning the game. The Yorkshire Pirlo they were speaking about, and that's what I want to refer to for the people that are saying that he's really bad, that it's not great. Guys, if he received the nickname of the Yorkshire Pirlo, there is a reason why, because the guy is also able with his feet. So how can he play in a potential Juventus with only Phillips? So not speaking about other players. He could play in that regista role, but more a defensive midfielder, more than a brain, more than a midfielder, there taking the spot of Locatelli, which would move Locatelli as a mezzala on the right, Wea on the right side as a winger, Kostic on the left, Rabiot next to them. That could be the 3-5-2 that we could see potentially with the arrival of Phillips. I know that a lot of people are asking for Locatelli to play again as a mezzala with the possibility to go a bit more up and not only defensively. That would be a great solution. Another solution could be that we are changing formation, going towards a 3-4-3 with Phillips and Locatelli in the middle, with Rabiot and McKennie on the left and on the right. And that's where we are speaking about a midfield that has been tested in the past with 4 pure central midfielder playing there without real wingers. So trying to focus a bit more centrally after the defense, going towards a trio in the front. At the moment I've put there Chiesa, Vlahovic and Wea. Why Wea and not someone else? Because we don't speak about Mercato, but we know it. The recent names of Berardi, even at a certain moment Bernardeschi, Douglas Costa, that is a player that can play there on the right side, Mattias Soulé come back. So if these names are there, it's maybe because we are thinking about a change of trio up front. But if you want a trio, you can't continue with that 3-5-2. That can be a possible alternative, of course, sacrificing a Kostic and a Cambiaso at the moment. Of course, Cambiaso can also play now, as we saw, as a mezzala, so he could still have his chances, even more chances for Ealing Jr. to play in that trio up front. That could be another solution, and the third solution could be that 3-5-2 with Phillips, Locatelli in a 4-man midfield with Rabiot on the left a bit, McKennie on the right, again that pure 4 midfielder, but instead of trio up front, then a Miretti that plays a bit as a trequartista, because he already scored his first goal against Fiorentina. So I believe that Max is thinking that he has more goals in his legs, which I believe as well. So this could be a Kalvin Phillips at Juventus on loan for Juve. Of course, it's not a full 360-degree talk. Why? Because we don't know which other player could possibly arrive to Juve. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. We go to other things. Corriere dello Sport is speaking about how much is the value of Lautaro Martinez. It's really that I don't like, but I am here and I have to admit the truth. He is on fire and the value of Lautaro is huge. Would not be against Inter selling him. Why not? That could be really nice. But on the other side, I want to focus towards that small part of Corriere dello Sport that is speaking Juve all'italiana. An Italian Juve. And that's what Allegri wants. Why? I don't know. But anyway, at the moment, it's the fact that 41% of the minutes are played by Italian players. And we are even reinforcing that thought towards the future with the contract extension of first Federico Gatti, and yesterday the announcement until 2028 of Manuel Locatelli. A lot of people are speaking about Nicolo Fagioli, like Romano, Agresti, etc., that will be revealed today. Can be, of course, but from what I know, I think we will have to wait a bit more to have the officialization of Nicolo Fagioli. I'm sure that it will happen, just wait a bit more. I'm not sure that it will be today. Of course, if I'm wrong, I will say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for it. Anyway, we continue with other Italian things. Well, go back to Locatelli first, because what he said, it's important to speak about it. He said it's a shirt that I really feel like mine. He sent a message to a supporter yesterday that we were able to hear on social network of Juventus saying la Juve è sempre stata casa, Juventus has always been home e sarà sempre parte del mio cuore and will always be part of my heart. Mamma mia, you are making me in love. You are making me even more in love. Locatelli, of course, the contract has been touched a bit more to the higher side. The great thing is, of course, that when you are extending a player, you are also having the payment of that player, that payback of the player that you can split over more years, and his salary increased a bit towards 3.3, which is not bad, especially if we are going towards a few years ago where the salaries of the player were sky high, so it's a bit better. Mattia Perin today, happy birthday. I had the opportunity to talk with him last season. Fantastic guy, really fantastic guy, really chill, tranquillo, 3 kids and so on and so on. Happy birthday, Mattia. And then another Italian today that we are pushing a bit, and you can see today the classic line, vintage line, retro line of Adidas that last year they did in a total black edition. They did this year in a total white one. It was Miretti after his first goal that was posing and being a bit that role of the model on the first pages. Nice, Miretti, beautiful look, by the way. And speaking about newness in terms of retail, in terms of clothes, etc., etc. Yesterday, mamma mia, a beautiful, fantastic edition that was actually revealed. Juventus partnership with Kojiro Hyuga, that other people here, especially in Europe, are calling Mark Lenders. Sold out. Hey, I was too late. I didn't even know. It was too late. Anyway, it is what it is. I know that my buddy here, he will be extremely jealous because he wanted to be part of it, but we know it in the manga. He's not the one that is playing at Juve, but it's Mark. Anyway, speaking about new shirts, about leaks, etc., etc., you know that a lot of people are speaking about that new third shirt with that trefoil from Adidas and that zebra, total black and so on, that people are so much in love with. What did I tell you? Attenzione, pay attention, because then you fall in love with that one and that's the only one that you have in mind. And after all the other versions, the real versions that will come up, you will say, I don't like it, I don't like it. It is what it is. You know, it's like in French you are saying un coup de foudre, when you're falling in love at the first moment and then all the other ones you are not loving anymore. It's a bit that. Well, yesterday, you know it, Footy headlines, they were going with a 70% accuracy, and then we saw Edoardo Bandini, and I know Edoardo Bandini, that is a head of partnership activation, commercial PR at Juventus. He wrote under a post on Instagram of Around Terrain 7% accuracy. So pay attention, that your expectations are not too much, you know, like this and nothing else, otherwise you will maybe be disappointed. Speaking about Italian players, because we have to speak about football, of course, Cambiaso is there for a spot in the starting 11 of tomorrow's game. The big question is, where will he play? As a mezzala, as he did in the second half, against Fiorentina, or will he play at the right side? Well, I told you when I was speaking. No, I didn't even tell it here on the channel. I spoke about it on the Juventus Twitch channel on Tuesday after the interview with Rugani. I said that I think that McKennie and Cambiaso will play. Cambiaso could potentially start as a mezzala on the left with McKennie on the right, but in the game they can also change. If it's not working really well, we have a Miretti that can go towards the left side of the field, McKennie that can go as a mezzala on the right, with Cambiaso on the right, without doing any changes from the bench. That could be a really great alternative, and I really believe that these two players will be there in the starting 11 of tomorrow. The big question is who will play in defense. Since immediately I told you that Huijsen had the big opportunity, well, they are going more and more towards a Huijsen starting. Wait, not too much excitement, but the chances are there. Now, we spoke a lot about Italian players. I want to speak also about foreign players, about renewals. Apparently, looks like after convincing, playing 11 games, 9 from the start, being the 5th player this season with the most minutes, there is also talk about Weston McKennie to extend his contract. Here we have to wait a bit, to stop a bit. What is my opinion about Weston McKennie? Well, I told it yesterday in a video that I made that I really particularly loved about the anti-hero Juve, about the second lines that we were not expecting too much, that are at the moment carrying Juve. Well, if we are taking the picture of the moment, Weston McKennie deserves a contract extension, especially because his contract will end in 2025. And at the end of this summer, you will not cash in a lot if you plan to sell Weston, because he will have only 1 year of contract. So if we are taking the picture of today, yes. On the other side, I will wait a few more months. I would talk about it towards maybe February, not rushing. It makes totally no sense, according to me, to do it now. That doesn't mean that Weston is not doing well, because it's objectively doing well at the moment. Ragazzi, that was it for me. I think we spoke about a lot of things, about Kalvin Phillips, a lot of focus on Mercato. We spoke about other things. I want to come back today with a video after the press conference of Max Allegri, translating it and explaining you what he said, the particular and important points, so that we can really focus on Juventus Cagliari that we didn't speak a lot about until now. And this annoys me. Anyway, maximum of like, continue to subscribe to the channel, grazie, forza, Juve.